Today we've got a special guest at the Ride Fast offices, Mr. Deysel. How are you, sir?
Fantastic, thanks yourself.
Lekker, man. Vin is, believe it or not, a KTM brand ambassador. And we've been looking for things that we can test and feature in the magazine. And I got hold of Lawrence at the shop.
Yep.
And I said, Lawrence, yes, we really want to do something KTM this month. He says, we haven't got any demos, and times are harder and friends are few and all that sort of stuff. The only bike we've really got is Vin's bike. So I said, Vin, which Vin? No, Vin Deysel. I said, he's an old mate of mine. Why don't we just phone him and get him out here? He won't mind if I take his bike home. So unbeknown to him, I took the bike home. Then I thought I'd phone you and say, listen, sir, I'm sorry to tell you, but I've got your motorbike.
I'm not going to lie, that was kind of a surprise to hear that I didn't have a bike anymore. It's like, oh.
Now listen, Vin, thanks for coming out. A couple of the importers do this kind of thing. They get a brand ambassador. What qualifies you to be a brand ambassador?
It's kind of a difficult thing because a brand ambassador, I feel, is somebody that you can't buy a brand ambassador. A lot of people believe that, you pay a lot of money and you get a brand ambassador. I don't believe that that's a true brand ambassador. Brand ambassador that I am is the kind of brand ambassador that actually believes in the product that they are going to be a part of.
Okay, so let's step back a little bit. How did it all happen? He's been riding bikes since he was a chocolate kid, a lot like all of us did. You've got your dad's GPZ 550 sitting in your garage.
Yeah.
Kawasaki GPZ 550. That's where love affairs start. Dad rode a bike, it gets into the blood. That's where motorbikes start, my friends. Okay. And since then, he's been a dyed-in-the-wool motorcyclist. Is that correct?
That's it. I've been through a whole bunch of different bikes, from super bikes to motards to adventure bikes, all that kind of stuff. And I really fell in love with KTM when I got my KTM 690 Adventure, and I'm not gonna lie, that thing is special. I mean, a lot of people don't like it because they say it's small and that, but it's one of those bikes that if you've got an open field, you can go on the highway with it, you can still sit at a reasonably nice pace.
And then I'm going to tell you,
can also go off-road.
You can chup the cops.
Exactly.
When the cops are after you, you can chup past. It's fine.
So you can go a bit of off-road, you can do all of that. And I mean, that's how my kind of love affair started with KTM. And I mean, the guys.
But I think you're a lot like me. You're not a racer. You're not a this.
No.
You simply love motorcycles.
That's it. Exactly.
I'm the same. I didn't grow up in a motorcycle family per se. We saw bikes come and go. But then one day I rode one. And I said, this is what I want to do for a living. And you're a big muso.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So tell them a little bit about what you do. This is your chance.
I'm a DJ, producer, sound engineer. Also own my own sound and lighting company called Bounce Online. And yeah, motorbikes is just part of that industry. And I mean, it's with the whole music and entertainment, and it's that vibe, and it's about adventure, and having a motorbike just fits in with that lifestyle of me being a DJ, producer, sound engineer, and it's just one of those cool things that I get to express myself in. So with music, you get to express yourself in a creative way, whereas on a motorbike, and I mean, this is something I try and explain to a lot of people, on a motorbike, there's a sense of freedom, and I know that sounds cheesy to kind of say that.
If you don't ride, you'll never understand.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I mean, that's one thing about being on a bike where I can kind of just switch off. I can get on a bike by myself, go on a breakfast run by myself, and just be. Get on the bike and you just ride. You just have a jaw for the next couple of hours or for the day.
100%.
You're just feeling good. I mean, even going to work on the bike is just, it's kind of freeing because you get to work and you're like, okay, cool.
You're in a good mood. If you ride a motorbike to work, listen to everyone who doesn't ride motorbikes. If you ride a motorbike to work, you're rather happy. Am I right? Is that a good?
100%.
And especially, and I'm going to say this Super Duke R is. Please just zoom out. Show them this motorbike. Okay, now you can come back because they won't hear us. If you ride a motorbike like this, you've got an even bigger grin.
Exactly. The cool thing about this bike is that it's one of those bikes that it makes you want to be a hooligan, but you don't have to be a hooligan. You can ride it. You can only ride as fast as your wrist will allow you.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's one of those bikes that, when you're going in traffic, you can weave in and out. You can get to work. You don't need to sit in the traffic. You don't need to sit in all of that. It's got enough power to get you out of trouble. Also enough power to get you into trouble sometimes.
Lots of lots of ability to do that.
But mostly out of trouble. And I mean, one of the good parts about it is that you don't need to sit into traffic.
Yeah.
For 2 hours or an hour or whatever to actually get to work.
absolutely.
You'll get to work a lot quicker, less stressed, a lot more happy.
Motorbikes do that to you. It's one of those things. But this one specifically, I mean, it is an absolute hooligan machine. Let's not kid around. KTM built some of the greatest V-twins ever invented, and their motto of ready to race, even for a calm oak like you and I, you get on these things and you tend to okay, let's see what this puppy can do. And that's the coolest feeling in the world.
But that's exactly it. And I mean, it's like, even though you can't wheelie, it makes you want to wheelie, and I can't wheelie, but like, I just want to, you know, just open up the throttle and just lift that front wheel and feel,
That's fantastic.
such a good bike.
From my point of view as a motorbike guy and as a magazine dude, it's really cool to have guys like you outside our industry preaching the gospel of motorcycles to people who might otherwise not hear about
Yeah.
it. Our job is to tell bikers about what we do and try and get to the outside world as much as we can. But you're exposed to a whole new market.
That's it.
So in my opinion, it's a smart move like KTM to have a guy like this along promoting their brand. It's fantastic, eh?
Yeah.
But thanks a lot for coming along. It's super
Thank
to meet
you.
you, sir. So now the bad news is you riding that motorbike home. I've got the dongle. While you were looking, I picked your pocket, you know.
Okay.
There's KTM power where they need to work on these zips a little bit, you know what I mean? But awesome to see you, and thanks for coming along. And yeah, we'll do a ride one of these days soon.
For sure.
Lekker. That's Deysel, ladies and gentlemen. What a cool, down-to-earth guy. Normal dude who rides motorbikes. How cool is that?